afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from the host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, hero of the Reich, defender of the fatherland. Here to give you another glorious episode. We're going to be watching the Commonwealth fighting VBmars. Fighting for the British. Fighting for the... oh, I don't know. Let's just say... 7th Armoured Desert Rats. Opposing him shall be Pffrestyler. Fighting again here. Fighting this time, though, for the Panzer Elite. Fighting for the 12th SS Panzer Division Hitlerjugend. The division of which most of its recruits, well, pretty much all of them, were drawn from the Hitlerjugend. So there we go, a bit of political fun and glory. Although, of course, a bunch of the veterans inside the corps, though, were actually from the Leibstandarte, including a bunch of the officers, thus ensuring there was a solid structure, sort of... Christ! Talk about explosive. Well, we are seeing the headquarters command truck moving up towards the fuel point. Of course, rather common, you know, that you take the fuel point closest. I prefer going for this munitions so I can stay within range, sort of close to the base, but, you know... Some players go here, some players go there. 2 Kenkrauts up, by the way, and he's in for fact using Kenkrauts, not Schwimmagens, but so far... Pffrestyler is going in, he's going to try and harass the fuel point, and he succeeds, ensuring that VBmars cannot move down his truck while it's being taken. Really clever, really dastardly, really sneaky. Lovely to see that move there from Pffrestyler. The 12th SS starting out with audacity and elan. Of course, this is going to force VBmars to react, to move back, and to try and push away this Kenkraut, being an utter arse. It's a really nice move there by Pffrestyler. VBmars, of course, a bit more perturbed by this. You might probably see something up there. We go infantry section on the way for VBmars. Panzer Grenadier squad up, and we'll see, in fact, a logistic company up first. And he's actually building something up, probably going to be a scout car. The Leichte Panzerspielwagen, the one with the MGs. Of course, it was an armoured car just like the one we, of course, more know from the Panzer Elite, but, you know, basically less well gunned. It's a bit of fun facts there. Points being secured. Recce section moving out for King George. First infantry section from the headquarters still on the way. Points are being secured. So far, so good. And there we go, Kenkraut coming under fire. Going to be a bit swift. And we do see the Kenkraut pushed off. And there we go, victory point is secured. And we are seeing a scout car out with the logistic upgrade, although this was actually basically just radio antenna, was actually sort of more, well, basically how a command vehicle would look in the earlier versions. I mean, they rather had this as the radio antenna. That was that huge back then, until they later come up with the star antenna, which was considerably more practical and a bit less silly looking. Like they, you know, stripped a bloody bed mattress and stuffed it on. Kenkraut, though, getting pushed off, going for the cutoff point. Really aggressive playing. Of course, must have sensed that Pffrestyler actually doesn't have a lot of units on the field. He's rushing for the armoured cars. Of course, he does what he does best. Then he tries to deconnect resources. He tries to harass, and he tries to limit even the amount of population that Pffrestyler can actually take advantage of. Really nice, really bold move there by the Commonwealth scout car, doing what it can to reconnect while under fire from the British and their... oh, what's it called? I can't actually remember the name of the Lee Enfield rifles. I believe they were called the Mark IV Special or something like that. Panzers, they're opening up there. The Panzer Grenadier. No Gewehr for the freeze upgraded on them. Firing away, taking target practice with the Tommies. And he's actually locking it down. Pffrestylers are absolutely desperate and holding the resources, particularly here, the high munitions. Then he's locking down his scout car, well aware that he's probably going to lose it. But at the same time, the strategic point, he cannot lose it. He must not lose it. The fast land depends on it, and he actually ends up retreating anyways. And there we go. Like a fiend, VBmars goes straight for the strategic point. Really aggressive play from the Commonwealth player, using the lieutenant to take points. And staring down the Kenkraut driver, sort of going, oh, you damn Tommy. You have prevented me. My one weakness. I don't have a gun, not even a sidearm. And we're seeing Pffrestyler equipping his troops with a assault rifle, the Sturmgewehr, charging straight into the throat of the Tommies, gunning them down. Although also losing men, he got a bit too close there. Run, Heinz, run! And he makes it bloody close. Bren pulling up. Vickers machine gun added on top. And there we go, the first heavier armor car. Well, not heavier, but heavily armed armor car out for Pffrestyler. And this armor car was in fact discontinued in the later stages of the war, basically because, well, it's not really good off-road. And you can't really, run your reconnaissance companies and expect there to always be roads. Armor cars, getting off a few shots than the Tommies. Has to be careful though. And there we go. Armor-piercing rounds spell the doom of the armor car bursting into flame. And the Kettenkrad goes down. Horrendous. And we do see an attempt here repairing, protecting the fuel pot as well, I suppose. But really some nasty losses initially there for the 12th SS. And, VBmars is just digging in. Come on, lads. Swing them bursers, ladies. Going down there with the casualty cleaning station next to his base. I suppose you could try to put a bit more forwards, but who gives a fiddle? Another assault. The Sturmgewehr is leading the way. But again, the Vickers ensures doom for the SS Panzergrenadiers. And there we go. In the trench. Probably might see a Bren gun even. Which is definitely going to spell trouble for Jerry. And Luftwaffe troops being called in. The 16th Luftwaffe Division. Providing its best members. Well, probably not, but... there you go, the 16th Luftwaffe Division was the one sort of meant to hold the area around Caen. It got rather badly beaten up, partly due to the artillery strike before Operation Goodwood, which rather caused some nasty losses to those poor bastards. And by the end of, well, the whole fighting around Caen, the 16th Luftwaffe Field Division pretty much ceased to exist. And as usual with the Luftwaffe divisions, the remaining personnel is pretty much just handed over to other divisions. Another armoured car for Pffrestyler, going for the cutoff there, trying to switch his angle of approach. Good point move there. Regi 6 moving about there, and Bren guns on the way, the mighty Bren gun. Actually a Czechoslovakian light machine gun, the name sort of hints at that. Briano Enfield, in fact it's sort of a amalgamation of. And was one of the many choices the Brits had, and the one they went with. They in fact also thought about going for the BAR amongst other weapons. Ultimately, though, they didn't. I believe a Danish machine gun is in fact also under consideration. Sappers out. Can't do so much at the moment against the armoured car. Interesting enough, Pffrestyler seems to be pulling away. Captain on the way. Captain Sterling, while Lieutenant Wallace is moving about here, hoping not to get spotted. Kettenkrad sneakily moves out. The Luftwaffe troops are here repairing. Lots of fun little facts about the Luftwaffe field divisions. There we go. Oh, the recce section down to 3 men. Gets spotted and blasted. Less good for them. And on the move right here. And there we go. The trench now manned with guns. Men wielding Bren guns. Definitely quite a nasty light machine gun there. Bren trying to hunt down the armor car, but at the same time wants to be careful, doesn't want to get outmaneuvered, otherwise it's pretty much a goner. And will go tits up. Armor car unleashing fury upon the Brits, going for the cutoff point again. We might see Panzergrenadiers moving up, and now fully equipped with assault rifles. That's 6 assault rifles right there. Quite a bit of firepower. Luftwaffe troops moving up. Bren moving up. We might be seeing a large fight here. Armor car opening up. Bren a bit exposed. Securing the point, nicely done there by Pffrestyler. In fact, using his armoured scout car to basically ensure the Brits can't cut him off. Sneaky manoeuvre, clever, definitely very clever by Pffrestyler. Rarely actually see the scout cars used in that way, basically just saying, "Ha, you can't take this, you filthy British, ya pig." The fighting though continues. The Brits push on, and question is, what will he go for next? Will he be attempting armor? And there we go. We see a Stuart light tank on the way. Panzergrenadiers are advancing, unleashing a storm of bullets. And there we go. The Brits actually pull back, not fancying a doses of Jerry lead. And these chaps basically hide out in the trench. Although someone might be thinking they're pointing in the wrong direction. Hey, Watson, don't you think we might be pointing in the wrong direction? Now you're just being silly, Wilbur. Obviously, the Huns going to come from the direction we least expect, which is from the behind, not from their base. Oh, you're so clever, Wallace.
Tank ready for combat.
Armour car patrolling around, trying to harass the British troops as much as possible. Another set of bren guns. Interesting enough, no Piats for VBmars. And there we go, the Stuart light tank. Moving out. Panzer's and armour car also on the move. Forces will intercept each other. There we go, finally the Piats on the way. Armour car pulling away. And, oh, there we go, they're actually Pffrestyler just in time, getting an anti-tank acid. And we're talking the Marder 3M. Opening up there on some unfortunate bugger. It's actually time to have a look at Pffrestyler. Panzer is pushing up. Unleashing one hell of a blast there with the Marder 3. He's actually flown quite a bit of manpower. Interesting. Not entirely sure if the 12th SS actually had Marders, or if they had one of the few divisions in Normandy which actually managed to get the Panzer 4. Otherwise, we can always imagine they got them from somewhere else. Oh well, based on the also Czechoslovakian weapon, the Panzer 38T. Oh, armor car moves straight in and gets knocked out in seconds. The sappers score a kill for King George. Panzer is still holding up behind the wreckage. Marder fighting support fire, assault rifles firing away. Kenkrat heroically distracting the Tommies, allowing the Panzers to charge in. There we go, opening up, gunning down, forcing away the sappers. Now there's just the Bren gunners to deal with, and the Marder scores a kill. Blimey! Pack 40 shell impacts with some poor bastard and pretty much buries him in a crater in a rather awkward position. Second Marder out here for Pffrestyler, wants to be prepared in case someone decides to outmaneuver him with, say, 2 Stuarts. Of course, he has to ensure he doesn't keep them too close, and there we go. A bit of distance between them ensures they can't be that easily outmaneuvered. Jolly nice job. Slightly mechanized force. Bren carry actually still there, and now with 2 vehicles to its name. And of course the Vickers. There was actually another sort of variant of the Bren carry, actually, and that was one equipped with a flamethrower. It was called the Wasp. Fun little facts there. Oh dear, Pffrestyler, 4-6th men here. He's making a charge for the Bren trench, and there we go. Just firing away there. Assault rifles can't do much. He's trying for the incendiary grenades, but one squad is moving too close to the Bren guns. Another incendiary grenade, and the squad. He continues up with another one, moving straight within range of the Bren gunners. And the squad goes down a bit. Unfortunate there, Pffrestyler. Squad, though, barely makes it out there, losing all but one in a horrific incendiary inferno. So while he certainly did not get to kill everybody, he still did quite a bit there. And there's a Bren gun left behind if he could take it. He could try and use the Luftwaffe troops to secure it. Luftwaffe troops are getting caught between the 2 Stuart light tanks. Canister round actually doesn't kill anyone, but gives someone a pretty damn good shave. The best shave he'll have in his life. Though not really recommended by most barbers. Canister round for the man who wants to really close shave. Oh dear, scout car a bit, spotted on its own. Panzer is going to be shifted over to help deal with that. Another squad of Panzer Grenadier moving out. Recce section moving up. Marders who were trying to hunt down the Stuarts, but a bit caught off guard there. There we go. The scout car is lost. The gunner lies a bit dead on the fields. And now trying to protect the victory point. I mean, really notice Pffrestyler is holding very little of the map. He's barely got anything. But he's still fighting on like a true soldier of the 12th SS. I'm probably sure they probably won't like to hear that in Germany now, of course, it's all a joke. And of course, there's still that Bren gun. I think if we get his Luftwaffe troops to secure it and get them some offensive veterans, they could become really nasty. But no, the Tommies are moving in. Another Kenkrat as well. And there we go. Trying his best to secure as much territory as possible. But the Brits are on the warpath, and there we go, Bren gun re-secured. Now this section has 3 Bren gun, that's a lot of Bren. Marder's blasting away, Panzer's Luftwaffe troops shifting about. And the Marders are quite exposed. Luftwaffe troops getting into trouble, but the Stuart is taking hits from them. One of the Marder flees. The Marder gunners swearing over the Tommies. One already close to getting knocked out. Panzer Grenadiers swiftly and deftly counterattack in the hopes of sending back the sappers. And there we go. Interestingly enough, during all of this, VBmars did not push in with his Stuart and his bren carriage to perhaps finish off this. I think that was actually quite a mistake. Increased squad sizes up 4 Pffrestyler. Come on. Secure the bren, secure the bren. Nehmen Sie die leichte Maschinengewehr. Schnell. And there we go now. Oh dear, slightly very poor timing there after it all had happened. He even slows down in front of them instead of continuing against them. Oh, VBmars. You're not supposed to take a tea break right in front of the Marders. That's what you call an absolutely botched up assault. I mean, he just lost his Brenko, his Stuart. He just lost every possibility of really applying some serious pressure to Pffrestyler in that moment. That was... Oh, VBmars. King George is currently crying. You made King George cry. I hope you're happy. And the infantry section went down. VBmars, what's going on? What is going on? You're just taking insane casualties. VBmars. King George. Think of King George. You wanker.
200 points is inadequate.
Otherwise, I mean, really great pressure, but again, that one, I mean, you can only describe it as one massive cock-up. Really, how do you manage that? And look yourself in the mirror and sleep well in the night. And now we actually see a Wirbelwind arriving out for Pffrestyler. The Wirbelwind flak punch is actually time for the mid-game analysis. Currently the situation is a bit not too good for Pffrestyler. I mean, he's certainly done some damage, but still there's some way. I mean, and perhaps, you know, VBmars could recover, though currently, I mean, again, he took some heavy losses. He really needs to get something back quickly. He needs to really knock something out with quite the resounding punch, and he needs some more armor out. I think he should go for some armor command track and get some Cromwells out. Pffrestyler, on the other hand, needs to push quickly. He needs to gain as much ground as quickly as possible. He needs to keep it covered, and he needs more troops, more armor, and I think he also needs that bren gun. Come on, just look at it. It's singing to you, Pffrestyler. It wants to be picked up and used against the filthy Tommies. Anyways, back to the action. And a commando glider pops in, a desperate hope. Commandos appear, gliders crash through the skies, falling like an elephant with wings attached to it. Probably not as gracefully, though. The elephant, that is. The balloon moving in. Quark mount firing away at the Tommies. Panzer goes moving up to support. PA rounds connect with the armor. And there we go, the Panzer gun is assault move in. Assault rifles blazing away. Bren gunners provide covering fire from the house. The house, though, is getting blasted. Lots of machine gun fire, incendiary grenades flying through the windows, lighting the tapestry and curtains on fire. Even the carpeting is gone now. And there we go, full retreat from VBmars, and that should be a good opening. But oh dear, what's this? Commandos. Sneaky Tommy commandos moving out. And a Luftwaffe squad arriving at the same time. Flanking action going up right here. The Luftwaffe troops might have a chance if they seek cover and open up most righteously on the British. And looks like Pffrestyler, he's going for it. He's going for broke. He's moving in. A full assault. 7 assault rifles, and there we go, spotting the Tommies in the base. And then he just retreats. Talk about confused. Luftwaffe troops quickly repairing. And there we go, the armor command truck is up. We're already seeing it lighting up. And there we go, the recce section is pinned down. The Wirbelwind producing a whirlwind of German bullets. There we go, Marder 3 number 1 fixed. And he's actually, I think, clearing out some of the hedgerows. Nicely done. Nicely done. And there we go. Cromwell tank out, though he's going to need a few more to take on those martyrs properly. And there we go, clearing up some nice fields of fire. VBmars coming under fire from the sappers. No, they're actually still taking the point. Full assault from the Panzers going to force away the sappers. And interesting enough, I mean, if he had just prepared some defenses along right here, you know, while he was pushing up, he might have actually been able to sort of limit the damage that Pffrestyler could afterwards do on his territorial holdings. Commando gets blasted by the martyr. I mean, that's actually killed 6 men. That's quite impressive for something that's meant to deal with that. Well, tanks. And the Brits once more secure themselves another Bren gun. Commanders, though, are at the same time losing to the Panzer Grenadiers. And the VBmars is getting repaired. And a second Cromwell out. VBmars is really preparing for an armoured offensive. A glorious desert rat storm. Lighting up there near the casualty station. Of course, you could consider having an armoured command tank as well with him to sort of, you know, increase rate of fire, get a bit more of the Cromwells as they blast through the German lines, dashing through the Huns, literally. Glider here getting blasted to bits. Let's return to VBmars. Got himself a staghound. He is getting himself a firefly. He's really lining up for something that's going to involve a lot of punch. And currently, I mean, Pffrestyler has nothing to really stop it. So this could actually work out for him. He's not gone for anything that could indicate Panthers. He's only got 2 martyrs. And I mean, they're in a nice position. There's nothing can really get behind them. But at the same time, he does need to be a bit careful. I mean, a few solid punches and he's, you know, short 2 martyrs and very much vulnerable. Cromwells are moving in.
Frontline troops with radio triangulation equipment.
Staghound has yet to do anything. VBmars moving up. Going to get blasted, I think. Why isn't he waiting for the firefly? What are you doing, VBmars? Why are you not moving in with and waiting for the most important asset, the thing that's going to be blasting away the jetties from afar? A second VBmars adds in. Quite a bit of heavy firepower being added there to turn against the infantry. And also any aircraft that might appear, but the British didn't really have them as incumbent heroes of opposing fronts. And there we go, just blazing through. Firefly is now ready. And the British infantry is just getting hammered. Cromwells are moving up to get a few good shots there on the Panzer Grenadiers. 1 man down. And Firefly gets off a nice hit on the flank of the VBmars. Buttoning down, and there we go, pushing it at the same time though. Flak going up. 12th SS Flak Abteilung is laying down the groundwork for some heavy anti-tank gunfire. Well, more just anti-tank defense fire. Rear armor hit. Staghound moving in. He needs to actually push now, and there we go. He's actually aware of it now, but it might be too late. He's pushing in. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is bad. He needs everything in on this. Everything. Everyone. Even the commandos need to be here now. He's very close to getting the flak. Oh dear, oh dear. And he didn't even get 1 martyr. He got the flak, but both martyrs still alive. He's lost all of his Cromwells. He lost his firefly. He's going to call in a bit now, I think, on the martyrs. I'm not sure if that's going to work. But definitely another botched assault. Infantry section, those put together. And the artillery fails as well. He didn't even call in on the most vulnerable of the 3 martyrs. My God. And now the infantry section is just getting torn apart. I mean, it's really falling apart for VBmars. I mean, it's not that huge. I mean, it completely buggers up that badly all of a sudden. That's actually a bit rare. Crikey. He must have completely lost him when that thing here faltered. Faltermakers preparing. I mean, it's not the Pffrestylers, you know, singing all lovely camp songs. I mean, he's taking quite a beating, but he's in a considerably better position than VBmars. He's not, you know, lost a ton of armor. I mean, and a bit of infantry. I mean, he's got... Well, VBmars still has a lot of infantry, and we do see another stag hound. Not convinced that's the best method. And looks like something went down there. And the troops are pinned down. The vehicle been providing very heavy fire. Staghound moving up, hoping to do its part for the Commonwealth. Commanders moving up. They're just getting shredded. I have no idea why he's so insistent on just marching up troops against 2 Wirbelwinds. I mean, that's pretty much a death sentence. The Wirbelwinds, though, are heavily damaged. I mean, Pffrestyler, of course, doesn't have much of a choice. He's got very little left, and he needs to keep those functionally. Otherwise, I mean, his Marders are pretty much going to get rushed and knocked out. At least as far as he's concerned. Repairing. No expert repairs. No, nothing really. There we go. Pffrestyler is now pushing forwards. Compelled by zealous belief in the fatherland. Those Panzergunners are still holding up certainly nicely. Nothing on the way from the command tank. Bit tragic. Demo charge will take the fuel point. Probably what got the Ken crowd. A demo charge. Knocking the stuffing out of it. Panzergunners advancing, coming under heavy fire from the Bren gunners. Bit of defensive action. There we go. Incendiary grenade through the window and lands inside. Lighting the pornography collection on fire. Farmer Francois shall be most disappointed, and so shall Private Watkins. Commanders in trouble. Another Ken crab bites the dust. Commanders, though, are getting absolutely shredded. And a commander squad. Bit it. Gone. Vanished. And this rather curious armored group there. Supporting everything. Securing points. Still lacking very much in anything that could really deal with the Wirbelwinds and Marders now. Again, partly due to that botched assault. Had he at least been able to really get, you know, those Marders, he might have had a better chance, but for some reason, he just seems to, you know, not focus one down at a time. Had he done that, you know, he'd done better. P heads up. I mean, he's holding on, but it's clear he's aiming for a victory upon victory now. He knows he's, you know, lost it. Apparently, High Command is sending him no further armor. Understandably enough. Crowds on the move. Panzergunner is moving up. Not much else though going on. A trench being laid up. Defensive position complete. To again try and sort of limit an assault from the Krauts, the Huns. One man down already. The Bosch though fights on. Have very veteran Panzergunners, but veterans free defensive. And incendiary grenades going in. Into the trench. Turning it into a barbecue pit. Staghound providing fire, and the Wirbelwind pushing out the flank. Sappers were caught outside. They're pinned, screaming for mercy, for help. Staghound rushes into the assistance. And a desperate attempt to secure the central victory point now. Again, VBmars, every second counts, every point counts. I mean, he's in fact getting desperate. Though interesting enough, he's not bothering something like, say, a 17-pounder gun.
Ready to move. Section report.
3rd Battalion has access to glider-borne light armor.
And Pffrestyler is throwing away an awful lot of cannon grabs. We do see another Flak 88 going down. Very heavy stuff there. Chaps inside the house are... No, he's clearing out more lines of fire. Very appreciative of that. Nicely done.
Germans are trying to secure our patrol dump.
Staghound's not really doing what I imagine he's hoping they would do. Again, he needs some proper armor. I don't even think a Tetrak will save him out of that one. It's a bit too late. And a strong position right here. 2 Martyrs, 2 Wirbelwinds, a flak 88. Infantry advancing up. Could be the last grand stand of VBmars in the 7th Armoured. Returning to Pffrestyler, I mean, really see this as... Oh my goodness! The Brits are just taking heavy losses as the Panzer Grenadiers just shred their way through the Tommies like a scythe through wheat. Wheat that just so happens to talk British. Absolutely grotesque, and now there's just a path of broken British bodies. And these Panzer Grenadiers have definitely taken their toll on the Tommies. Butterfly bombs going down. Quite a bit of resources being floated here and there. You can even try some Fallschirmjäger with some FG-42s. In fact, he does. Splendid. No FG-42 though still. I mean, even without them, Fallschirmjägers are pretty damn tough troops. Or they could consider getting some FG-42s for them nonetheless. Martyrs are quick to react, and the British force their men forwards once more. Sten guns pointing in their backs. Apparently, VBmars would feel much better under communist rule, and now he goes for a mortar emplacement. I'm a bit concerned about VBmars now. His action seems to be getting more erratic, as he hopes for some liquid courage, apparently, since he's lost his own. Troops getting murdered. The Panzer Grenadiers just swarm through again. I mean, absolutely overrunning them. Brits can't do anything. There's panic in the lines, and they have no bren guns. They have no light machine guns to stop because they're far away. And with so little anti-infantry, the Panzer Grenadiers just massacre their way through. Now the only thing stopping them is a Staghound, but the Wirbelwinds move up. Probably see the Martyr fleets as well. And there we go. Mortar pick cancelled. Bren gun to stop one of the Wirbelwind. The Panzer Grenadiers just shred them. Or the one squad could go down and go full retreat. Well, the Fallschirmjägers, there we go, taking up a supportive position. Panzer Grenadier squad down. Veterancy free for the Wirbelwind. Staghound moving up behind. The Fallschirmjägers fighting on from the barn. More veterancy free for the Wirbelwinds. Sappers, Bren gunners advancing. Doing what they can to absolutely knock out the Jerry's Panzers. And there we go, one Martyr finally goes out of control, blowing up in the path of the Panzers, the flak Panzers, that is. Another Martyr on the way. He takes absolutely no bloody chances. The Fallschirmjäger is forced to finally vacate the premises. The barn is no longer safe.
Tank destroyer awaiting further orders.
And another butterfly bomb field going down. They're not so good laying it down right in front of the enemy so they can actually see it. Nonetheless, he moves in a previous field, taking heavy losses, and he's going in. He's just charging forwards, and it's a complete disaster right there from VBmars. And there we go, game over. A bit of a shorter match, but still, I mean, it had some interesting things. And it was a Panfleet versus British match, so again, I figured that might also have some interest. But really, I mean, the British player had such a strong start, but again, he completely lost the tempo right there with the Martyrs, and pretty much from there on, it went downhill very, very fast. I mean, he was practically falling down from Mount Everest, so really downhill was it. He might have lost his nerve, I'm not sure. But again, you know, you don't stop up with Stuarts in front of Martyrs. You keep moving. You keep trying to circle back instead he moved, stopped up. Then his other chance came with the Cromwell's, the Firefly again. He was quite indecisive, you know, pulling it off. And when he finally did, he didn't focus fire. He didn't focus on getting down one martyr at a time, really, you know, limiting how much armor ultimately Pffrestyler would have, or how tank destroyers for any future offensives. Again, that didn't happen either. I mean, there was really some problems there. And his target priorities ultimately allowed Pffrestyler to push forwards with some heavily equipped panzers. I mean, they did quite well. The assault rifles, you know, tore through the British. Well, there was the one slight assault there, which went pretty bad. He could upgrade the Voltigeurs. He could have up earlier. He could have perhaps used his Luftwaffe troops a bit more aggressively. But overall, I mean, Pffrestyler had a sore start himself, but he overcame it. He punished VBmars for being British, and he did it well. And again, VBmars pretty much squandered an excellent opportunity. In fact, 2 opportunities to really, you know, just crush the Jerry bastard. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe? Follow me on Facebook or Twitter. You know, those are good places as well. You know, tell your friends, share this glorious Propagandacast. If you didn't, you know, provide some feedback in the comments. What did you like? What didn't you like? What would you have done better? You know, also as the players, you know. And, you know, or, you know, send in a replay of your own. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers. Hope you enjoyed.